Hello, everyone. My name is Flynn, and this is Project Echo. We're going to be picking our newest route relatively soon. It's a mystery. We don't want you to know just yet.
Just mysteriously, yes.
I mean,
It,
there's
we
only two routes left, so I mean, how big of a mystery can it be? But, ooh, a mystery.
big toss up. Like a coin, we're just flipping a coin. There's two
Mm-hmm.
sides to the same echo.
Yep, because we're always just moving in circles around the
The fought,
circumference of the ring of the coin.
yes.
All right, but my name is Flynn. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Blue Sky. Who uses X anymore? Except for people who really like really developed arm muscles. And um, yeah, that's where you can find me. What about you, um, um,
Mysterious
Terry?
person.
Person whose name I forget. Terry, go for it.
Yes, I am Terry Candlestick. You can find me on Terry Candlestick uh, channel on YouTube. You can find me on YouTube, Terry Candlestick. And you can find me also on Blue Sky as Terry Candlestick as well. I don't think I have any doppelgangers or clones yet. Probably won't happen for a very, 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 very long time.
I'll have to make a dummy account called The Real Donald Terry.
Real Donald Terry? The real Terry?
The Real Terry Candle Trump. All right, let's just just post memes. All right.
How about the real Donald Dump?
Yeah, yeah. All right. Let's go
Okay.
ahead and get on into it then, shall we, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
I stand there next to my chair, undecided, said
I,
Firmier.
I stand there next to my chair, undecided. Well,
Why am I Southern? Like I'm from Texas or
all right, so
Alabama?
we have Jenna and Leo and Flynn left. So let me figure this out. Let me roll my case of melatonins. It says Flynn. I look
He's at
back at
he.
Flynn. Good.
I was just gonna, as you were saying that, I was gonna say, he's got his alphabet soup, and he's just seeing after he stirs it what witchcraft, uh, which name the witchcraft sets forth for him, and it just came out as Flynn.
I need to like throw the bones like it's Willow. That's an old movie. And then try to interpret them to figure out if it's going to be Flynn or Jenna.
Uh, I hear you drink a lot of tea with actual tea leaves. You could just check the tea leaves.
Oh yeah, that's true. I could be a pyromancer and look into a fire and see if that tells me what I need to know.
Or you could just bake, or you not bake. You could just toast some bread and just see if there's a certain character's head in the toast.
Just see if Jesus appears in the toast. And he's just
Saint
like, Flynn.
Saint Flynn of Echo.
The toast's mouth starts moving. That's when you know I've taken too many meds. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
You see, here's the thing. I'm not actually having this conversation with you, and I'm not actually streaming. I'm just sitting in front of a computer that's off and like two cardboard boxes with like a piece of corn on a stick. And I'm just like, yes, we are streaming. And in the meantime, my roommates are just staring at me like, what the hell is this guy? Whatever.
Yeah, I've actually got less than that. I'm just kind of sitting at the base of a tree with with my setup in front of me, and it's just kind of shitty. But I I've got my dinner right next to me. It's one single grain of rice.
Yeah, you're in the middle of the hysteria. You don't know it, but your mic is actually a shotgun pointed straight at your face. And
Sweet.
like Brian and what's his face are sitting there
Duke.
taking bets on how long it's going to take for you to accidentally pull the trigger.
Wow.
What's going to happen when he does it with his toe? Ooh. And you just
So
like you just think you're in a studio.
I
But
wonder
as
which
we
one
know,
has that's the feather. It's tickling my foot.
oh man. But as we
We,
know, that's totally not Brian. Brian's not smart enough to do that.
no, Brian's not that smart, and he likes the more sadistic thing anyway, because he's a psychopath.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry to anyone we offended with all the race, religion bashing, if anyone picked up on that.
I don't think that's religion bashing. That's like pretty normal stuff that people see. Like they go and they see like a, I forget the technical term for it, but it's when you use like see faces and stuff and things. Like there's a lady who has a plank of wood that just randomly has like Jesus's face on it for some reason, and she's like, "See." And then because she prompted everyone to see Jesus's face, they all see Jesus.
Oh, so it's a mass hysteria and a hallucination.
Oh, you know it.
All right, take it away, Flynn.
All right. I look back at Flynn as he winds his way down the trail towards the road. Let's actually go back. I stand there, next to my chair, undecided. I look at Flynn and say, all right. I look back at Flynn as he winds his way down the trail towards the road. I sigh angrily, starting towards him.
Chase, I wouldn't.
Someone's got to talk some sense into that idiot. He thinks he can just get away with this shit?
You know how he is.
I keep walking. He's moving pretty slow, so it's easy to catch up with him. He's got his hands jammed into his pockets as he walks along, his head down. Hey, Flynn! He jerks his head up, then looks back at me. Looks back around at me. He's chewing on a toothpick, which he promptly pulls out of his muzzle.
The hell? What the fuck do you think you're doing, Chase? Go back.
Yeah, right. You think you can just walk away from me after saying shit like that? He stops walking and turns around fully to face me. I step right up in front of him, just a few feet away. He looks me over and, for some reason, I can see a smile threatening to crack his face as he tries to keep it hidden.
Yeah? And what are you gonna do about it?
I shrug, and then I punch him.
In the nut. Oh, he don't have nuts. He's a lizard. But he's got a soft underbelly.
We have seen in a different route that we can kind of just hold him down and slap him till he screams uncle.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Talk? Where we were having a good time. Why did you have to go and turn everything good? He suddenly steps up close, thrusting his chest out into me. It hits me around the neck and I stumble back.
Not in the mood.
He sticks his toothpick back in his muzzle before he turns and starts walking away again.
Go back to the river so you can talk about all... Go back to the river so you all can talk about what an asshole I am.
What? I watch him go for a bit. I'm not too worried about Flynn actually beating me up. I'm annoyed. I had annoyed him pretty bad before, but he hadn't ever actually hurt me. At least not maliciously. On top of that, he'd have Leo to answer to if he ever did anything like that, so he knows how that would end up. Still, he did look pretty angry when I stepped towards TJ. More than I'd ever seen him before, probably. No, might not be the best time to do this. Fuck that. Keep going. Screw him. Once again, he thinks the act of an asshole can just brush off whatever. Once again, he thinks the act of an asshole can just brush off whoever he doesn't want to talk to. That's an interestingly written line.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to show him exactly why that doesn't work when it's a stubborn asshole, when it's a stubborn otter he's up against.
Was that on accident?
Yeah, I start following again, doing a little jog to catch up. This time, Flynn hears me and whirls around, pulling the toothpick out of his mouth again.
Your ear's filled with water. I said fuck off.
I flinch a little under his yelling, but I square my shoulders and walk up to him, standing my ground. Now I'm only 3 feet away. Or what? You gonna hit me? Really? Go on, try it. I look him in the eye and immediately know I have nothing to worry about. This is Flynn, after all, one of my best friends. Whether or not he'd ever admit to it, our little group is family, and no matter how many stupid fights we get into. He's trying to scare me, though, with the way he's leaning over me, glaring. I just smirk up at him, and pretty soon his facade cracks. He slumps down, letting out one massive sigh, deflating like a life-sized lizard balloon.
Fucking otters. What do you want?
I want you to stop being a dick. Flynn looks right back at me and glares, some of the posture coming back.
What?
Oh Christ, you heard me.
That is not a good thing to say to me right now.
Flynn starts leaning over me again, and I lean right back, almost bumping muzzles.
Kiss.
Yeah, well, everything you said back there was not a good thing to say. I see the corner of one of his eyes twitch. So we're so close I can smell the beer on his breath. I see that smirk tug at his muzzle again.
Coming in for a kiss?
And then...
No. Have me some lizard. Let's go.
So it reminds me of those 2 boxes where they did get really close, and then one of them kissed the other one. The guy like jumps back and tries to punch him. It's like ways to show someone you're not intimidated at all.
Right. Give him a little peck. Like it's like that meme. Gonna take a little sip. Fucking knew it, you got motherfucker.
He presses even closer, and I feel my muzzle flush, but I'm not backing down.
I see how it is. You're bored with Leo, and now you want some lizard action, eh?
No, I just want an explanation. He raises an eyebrow and leans back a little. Of why you're being such a dick when we're all supposed to be having fun.
Actually, I think I know exactly what this is. You're trying to prove me wrong. Well, being an obnoxious twit doesn't suddenly mean you've got a personality. Anyway, they told me to speak my mind. I did.
He turns away again and starts walking. I quickly catch up and start walking alongside him. That's not an answer. Besides, even if something's true, it doesn't mean you have to point it out in the middle of everyone's vacation. Flynn keeps walking, opting to glare at the dusty trail. Do you really think I'm just looking to bone all of you? I'm not. Flynn laughs, and, for once, it's not cynical, it's genuine.
I think what you're doing right now isn't helping your case, Chase.
What? I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with you, Flynn. My phone buzzes, and I pull it out.
Are you okay?
It's a text from Leo. Everything is fine, and I'm just trying to talk to Flynn. Flynn snorts right out of my ear, making me jump. I jerk my phone away as soon as I realize he's been reading over my shoulder.
What? Wolfie boy thinks I'm gonna clock you for being annoying?
You almost hit TJ.
Almost.
At this point, we're walking alongside Lake Emma Road, the trail winding between it and the reservoir itself. There's a little guardrail on the lakeside, but it's rusty, and I seriously doubt that it would stop any car from going into the lake. Another 10 minutes, and we'll reach the motel. My phone buzzes again, and I get a response from Leo.
If he does anything, call me.
Flynn sighs again. He stops and I turn to face him. He looks sad for once, staring hard at the ground.
I sort of just blacked out for a second. I was angry.
That's what murderers say after they kill their exes.
Jesus, Chase. Well, okay. Fucked up.
Yeah, no shit.
It's just something that's been fucking with me ever since it happened. That he's not telling the truth.
Flynn looks up at me sharply.
You know he isn't.
Flynn's staring at me hard as if he's looking for some. Flynn's staring at me hard as if he's looking for something. And this time, I do not look away. And this time I do look away. Well, what if he is?
No. You saw him right after it happened. How scared he was. How he couldn't look at any of us.
I have no idea what to say. Flynn never talks about this. Before today, the last time I'd heard him mention Sydney was like 6 years ago.
It just really fucked me up. And that we thought we could just come back to the stupid fucking lake.
He kicks his foot across the ground towards the reservoir, some pebbles falling over the steep drop and plopping into the water. It fucked us all up, but Flynn most of all. Look, Flynn, maybe something did happen. Something that he doesn't want to tell us. But it's DJ. You know what kind of person he is.
And that's what makes us so fucking shitty.
But we were kids. He was like 10 years old. We're different people now. Looking behind Flynn, I see Leo's van coming up the road. Flynn waits for me to go on, but sees me looking back and does so himself. As soon as he sees the van, he folds his arms and turns his head to look out across the lake. It pulls up alongside us, the window rolls down, and I see Jenna in the passenger seat, Leo next to her.
Hey, we're heading back. Wanna get in?
Flynn doesn't say anything, instead choosing to continue staring at the lake. I decide that it's probably a good idea for me to walk with him instead of making him do it alone. Nah, that's alright. We're just talking. Leo shifts his gaze to Flynn, studying him before turning back to me.
Alright. Text me later, okay?
Okay. The window rolls back up as the van pulls away, kicking up some dust from the roadside as it does. I turn back to Flynn, who's still looking at the lake, chewing slowly on his toothpick. That's when his stomach growls so loudly it almost makes me jump. I snort and Flynn fixes me with a glare.
What? I didn't get to eat.
Neither did I. Which is your fault. Flynn grunts and keeps walking up the trail towards Echo, the town's windows and rusted signs glinting in the desert haze. I skip up alongside him. I can just see Chase now.
Disney Princess Chase skipping his way up.
He's just skipping all his way up there. Hey, why don't we go to the diner? It's just a few minutes away. Flynn grimaces.
I can't eat that shit anymore.
What? When's the last time you ate there?
A few years ago.
Wow, what do you eat then? Flynn laughs.
Squirrels. Small
Occasionally
cats.
otters who ask too many questions. Pulls out a
Fish.
knife.
Yeah.
Shink.
How could if little fucking otters won't shut the fuck up and catch a fucking clue?
You ever heard of the Echo Slasher? Shing!
Bet you didn't know Echo, Lake Emma's actually just a big pot of stew for me. I throw little annoying bastards in there like you.
Yeah, people think Brian's the main serial killer here. They're
It's
wrong.
actually Flynn. Flynn sells Brian meat, fresh meat boiled in Lake Emma.
Yeah.
I go to Peyton where they actually have grocery stores.
Oh, okay. A few moments of silence pass before Flynn speaks up again.
I guess it wouldn't hurt to eat there again, for old time's sake.
As we walk into the diner, my senses are assaulted by nostalgia. Everything looks and smells the same, from the faded, patched stools to the smell of burgers and fries. Out of habit, I start walking towards the corner booth, the one we always used to sit at.
Where are you going?
Huh? I look back at Flynn, who's standing near the counter, looking ready to sit on one of the stools. Oh, come on, Flynn. Those are uncomfortable. Besides, it's easier to talk. It'll be easier to talk over here. Over here. We can talk
Get
about
over here.
Metal Gear and Echo.
There's only one good place that we can actually go. Oh, must be over here at this table. On the corner.
Something, something. Metal Echo.
They'll never see me over here. Plus, it's close to this cardboard box.
Yeah, then John just turns and it's like, Wing!
Yeah,
see
yeah,
that?
he's
Yeah.
under the box. Yeah. Later in the route, Brian and Duke are in here trying to do shit, and then there's just this dart that shoots out of the box, and Brian's like, "What? What is that?" And it just faints.
Like the box just sort of slides up behind Brian. It's like, "Ugh, ugh." And then it's like, serial killer and Echo's gone.
It strangles Brian.
Hmm.
And Duke's like, "I knew there was some crazy shit happening in Echo."
I'm getting the hell out of here.
Metal Gear jokes, man. Just perfect.
Kojima makes an Echo game. All right. Some of the patrons are starting to look up from their meals. Flynn looks around, clearly embarrassed, and shoves his hands into his pockets, making his way over to me.
Fine.
I slide into the booth, into my usual spot on the right-hand side. Usually Leo would sit next to me. Flynn sits opposite of me, leaning back, eyes half open. Tired?
Yep.
I wait for him to elaborate, but he doesn't go on. Were you up late? Flynn reaches up and rubs his eyes.
Yeah.
A long breath he takes takes in before he says that tells me he's starting to get annoyed, so I drop it. Luckily, that's when Jaundice, the old diner waitress, comes over to our table. She fills the entire walkway.
We can't even see past her. Not even the ceiling nor the floor.
I think some of the flies are buzzing in circles around her, in strange elliptical patterns.
The ring, there's just the multiple rings of dead fly body parts just floating around her. The
remember,
rings of
guys.
jaundice.
Because remember, guys, Janice is actually supposed to be absolutely enormous. Just think super southern lady who just eats nothing but lard. Chase, my goodness, what are you doing here? Hi, Jaundice. I'm just doing a school project. Oh, really? I wonder what sort of schooling might be here for ya. I'm actually just getting some film of the town. Flynn's covering both his eyes with his hands now, as if that's going to make him invisible. And you, Flynn? I can't say I've seen you at all recently. Flynn makes a low grunting sound, not taking his hands away. John just keeps talking, though, unfazed. Well, anything you'd like to drink while you're deciding on your meal?
Water.
And you, Chase? Oh, they have Coke? Cool. Does it come with a razor blade? And a glass plate?
And straw.
Just use a rolled up $1 bill or something. I have a feeling this doesn't do anything. So, if
Yeah, I don't
Flynn's
think
being the straight guy here, will be the strawberry shake.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I'll have a strawberry shake. Sure thing. Flynn doesn't move his hands at this point and looks at me. His expression is odd, like he wants to say something. Can I get the strawberry shake with, like, an umbrella in it and, like, a heart straw as well? So that everyone stares at it as it is put on our table?
Also, you
Flynn's
need
like,
to
damn it!
also you need to clap your hands and sing happy birthday for Flynn here.
Yep. I look back and raise my eyebrows, but he just shuts his muzzle and looks out the window. All right, I'll be right back with you. As Jaundice moves on to some other patrons, I look back at Flynn. Were you gonna say something? Flynn shakes his head, folding his arms on the table and hunching forward.
No.
Somehow his mood is even darker than it was earlier. I sigh, frustrated. It's so damn hard to understand Flynn. He's like a lizard. His mood swings are absolutely ridiculous. I lean back and fold my arms, scowling.
What?
You know exactly what. I'm trying to be friendly here. Flynn shrugs, a bewildered expression on his face.
I don't know what to say, Chase. It's been a shitty day.
I don't say anything and just look out the window, like Flynn. Again, there's a tense silence between us. I just listen to the chatter of silverware from the two other people at the diner, along with the old rockabilly music playing over the crackly speakers. Finally, Flynn sighs. I decide that's his signature expression, like Carl's shrug.
Sorry. Just like I said, it's been a shitty day.
It's fine. If anybody ever tells you that it's fine, it's not fine.
It's not fine. What does fine mean to you, actually? What does that actually mean? What does that mean?
Yes. Can you tell me exactly what fine means? What is fine for you in a mindful way?
Now, what was that? What's that called when each letter stands for something? I forget what the word is.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I forget what it is too. But I've heard fine means frustrated, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
I've heard that fine only has only 2 letters. No, actually, only 3 letters mean anything in fine, and that is fuck it everything, or something like that. That's when Jonas brings over our drinks before taking a notepad out to take our orders. All right, what do you have?
The tuna melt, onion rings.
Uh-huh. And you, Chase?
Sounds good. I think they have a whole bunch of sandwiches and melted
Yeah.
burgers.
Yeah. I mean, it's a diner, so yeah. So he's getting a tuna melt. So we got like the most girly freaking drink we could get.
Do the beefiest. Should we just do the thing that just goes along with it? The very dude.
What would actually taste good with a strawberry shake?
I don't think a tuna melt would taste good with a strawberry shake.
No,
That sounds
I don't
like
think so either.
Sweet, and then like the sweetness from the shake, and then like the slight tuna taste.
Yeah,
It's
like
probably
sort
gonna have
of
mayo.
yeah, it's sort of mixed together in a really weird way that would not complement each other.
No, but a bacon cheeseburger sounds like it would just be good no matter what the fuck you pair with it.
That is true. Now we just need to talk about if it's going to be a red wine or a white wine.
And then the roast beef sandwich. I think that would be okay.
Okay,
So
we'll go with bacon
tuna
cheeseburger.
Bacon cheeseburger? Do you want to do
Bacon
like the
cheeseburger.
weirdest? You don't want to do the weird shit and do tuna melt?
No, I mean, you said bacon cheeseburger would be good in any
Yeah.
case, so we'll just deal with that. The bacon cheeseburger sounds good. Alrighty. Oh, and what do you have on the side? Let's have fries. Fries, please. Flynn's staring at me in a weird, squinting sort of way, as if he's trying to see something. Great, I'll have it right over. Sit tight. As John just bustles away, I look to the side, then back at Flynn. What? Flynn keeps squinting, his face incredulous now.
Do you really not?
He doesn't finish and instead shakes his head. That's a problem a lot of guys are upset about.
What?
Not finishing. All right. Then they have to shake their head and try to get it back. Go for it,
Never
Flynn.
mind. Never mind.
Seriously, you're kind of freaking me out. Flynn chuckles and covers his eyes again, rubbing. He's just standing there menacingly. What the
Same.
hell is he? Yeah, what the hell is he talking about? I'm opening my mouth to ask again, but he cuts me off.
Listen, I've got the day off tomorrow. Do you want to do something?
I stare at him, at a loss for words. First, he's acting like a complete douche. Then he tells me I'm scaring him, and now he's inviting me to hang out with him. What is he going to do, kick me in the balls like he does Carl?
Yeah.
Is he, what do you call it, bipolar? I guess?
All right. I'll come by sometime afternoon. Maybe with Carl. He doesn't do shit, so he should be free.
Okay, I guess I could use a break from working on this project a bit. Flynn goes on to tell me that he and Leo often go out to fish on their days off, and that's actually a lot of fun. I'm still trying to get used to the shift in conversation when John just shows up with our food. Flynn stares down at his giant greasy sandwich while I take a giant bite of mine.
Fuck. Gonna regret this.
Why? Tastes great.
Well, you're lucky. This kind of food fucks up my stomach.
Do you make your own food?
Yeah. Yep.
I snort and Flynn looks up sharply. I don't know why that sentence was so
So
weird
hard
for
to
my
read.
brain. It's just like that's just an ordinary sentence. It doesn't have any jank in it at all.
I think I know it is like the sexia that we all have when all the letters just grow legs and start dancing back and forth.
Start
It's
dancing
fun.
back and forth.
Hello,
Hello, my hello, my.
Yeah, exactly. Hello, my darling. Hello, my honey.
Sorry, it's just hard to imagine.
Hey, I'm a real good cook.
I guess the expression on my face is showing. I don't buy it because he smirks back at me.
Fine. Sometime this week you're coming over. I'll show you then.
I shrug, even though I feel like I've won some kind of secret battle we're having. Deal. Flynn pulls me over the rocks and boulders. I stumble along trying to keep my balance. Flynn's insistent, though, almost angry. We reach the edge of the lake and he throws me down. I stare at the wet sand, then back up at Flynn. He points and tells me to dig. I start digging. I don't know what I'm looking for, and I ask, but Flynn doesn't say anything. Water keeps filling the hole. It's hard to keep sand from sliding back in. Finally, I reach in deep and someone grabs my paw. It stays like that for a long time. And Sydney says, "Join me in my fruit cellar."
It's that guy. Oh, Chase, your shirt is blue. Anyways, it's Tuesday.
Yes. Tuesday.
How's this look?
Carl dangles the lure in front of himself, bouncing it around. Flynn squints at it incredulously. I'm pretty sure his muzzle would have been hanging open if it didn't have a toothpick in his mouth.
Jesus fucking Christ, Carl. What is that? What?
Carl has tied the spinner in a giant ugly knot, and the string is sticking out in every which way.
Fuck, Carl. This is what I told you to. This is why I told you to fucking wait.
I guess Carl had gotten impatient and decided to tie his own lure while Flynn helped me with mine. Flynn takes out a knife from his pocket and takes the spinner from Carl, scowling.
I'd throw this away if I didn't have so fucking few of them. What's wrong with you, Carl?
Carl shoves his paws into his pockets as he watches Flynn struggle with getting the knot fixed.
I don't see what the big deal is. It's attached, isn't it?
He looks at me and grins, shrugging his shoulders. I shrug back.
You made it so fucking big, it's not gonna spin right.
Flynn's muttering angrily under his breath, squeezing his forearms to his chest as he tries to keep his fingers steady. Carl rolls his eyes and looks over at me and grins.
Why are we gonna fish with these when we got an otter with us?
I'm willing.
That's not the point.
Flynn almost growls, prodding and poking at the messy knot.
It's about relaxing. And how's Chase gonna relax swimming around the whole time?
I mean, if you think about it, one of these, when Chase is down there swimming, they'll eventually they'll get a big fish, and when they pull it up, you'll just see like Chase hanging from the fishing pole.
Yeah, Flynn. Yeah, it's gonna be Flynn's rod he's attached to. Like,
he's like, "Damn it! How am I strong enough to pull this out of the water?"
wait, no, even worse. Damn, this one's too small. Gotta throw it back.
He finally seems to get a handle on the mess and starts tugging out line.
And how am I gonna relax with you fucking everything up?
The line finally drops away from the spinner.
That's what I get for bringing a pothead along. Hey, I'm straight right now.
Flynn snickers.
You sure about that?
Carl rolls his eyes again.
Ask Chase.
I sit on a rock as I slowly reel in my line, watching my spinner glisten under the water. Why are you asking me?
You have... what's it called? Gaydar.
Isn't the idea that everyone has it? He doesn't respond as Flynn starts showing him how to actually tie the line. I come up empty and cast the line out again, listening to the clicking whirl of the reel before the spinner lands with a plop in the middle of the pond. I was wondering where Flynn would go to fish, since he wouldn't go to Lake Emma, obviously. Turns out he and Leo found this pond 20 minutes outside of town, deep into the wilderness. Unsurprisingly, no one comes here, which is why Flynn says the fishing is good. There definitely is something calming about being out in the middle of nowhere, especially with the repetitive motions of fishing to keep you preoccupied. Finally, Flynn finishes showing Carl how to cast, and the ram launches the spinner out almost all the way to the other side of the pond.
Careful, idiot! If you get it snagged at the other end, I'll whoop your ass. Lay off. Oh, lay off, Flynn.
Carl reels in fast, then casts out again, making a pew sound as he does. Flynn sighs before walking up next to me, watching as I reel in much slower. I feel a little self-conscious with the way he stands over me, worried I'm doing something wrong. Sure enough, he steps forward, his chest up against my back as he grips the pole. Oh no, Flynn is gripping our pole again.
First I'll need the lotion, and then you need to grab it above the reel post. Right here. Okay, sorry. Grab it above the reel post. Here.
He holds the rod, then grabs my paw and slides it up the pole. Then he slides it down again.
And then up again. Just like that.
We're brothers, by the way.
We could be from Alabama.
I hope not. That would mean we would potentially do something else, and I don't want to do that.
That way you can really grip it when you catch something.
He's right up against my back, arms wrapped around me. I swallow and try to focus on the pole. My pole. All right. I hear him give a low chuckle in his throat, and I glare. Of course, he knows what he's doing right now with my paws and the pole. He's probably rubbing in what he said yesterday. I decide to respond by sliding my tail up the inside of his leg and feeling him shift against me. His chuckle is turning into a grunt of surprise.
What the hell are you guys doing?
Flynn lets go of the pole and steps back as Carl watches us, his face screwed up in an exaggerated disgust.
Showing him how to fish. Now it's your turn, fatty.
Carl pauses on his reeling.
It's not like we haven't done this before. Plus, I don't know if I want to fill your cloaca on my ass. Too bad.
I focus back on fishing, feeling a little warm from the close encounter I just had with Flynn. I'm a little angry that he'd try that, especially so soon after what had happened. I try to focus on how relaxing the motions are. Sweeping the lake clockwise, I cast out again and again and again. If I really did want to catch fish, though, I would be swimming in the water right now. It isn't too hard to do. I've done it several times when I was younger in the reservoir. Of course, that's less relaxing since you have to actively search for fish rather than just sit placidly until one bites your lure. I've never killed one before, though.
Careful, Carl!
I wince and look to the side, seeing Flynn covering his head and ducking as Carl's lure bounces and swings above him.
You didn't let go of the fucking button.
Carl shrugs and starts to swing his pole around, trying to unwrap the line from his pole.
Well, if you weren't right up against my tail, you wouldn't have to worry about that. I'm trying to show you. Kapoo!
Carl launches his lure over the pond so far that it almost lands on the opposite bank. It does, however, wrap tightly around a branch sticking up from a fallen log in the shallows.
Oh, fucking believable. Oh, shit.
He starts tugging and pulling, trying to get it untangled from the log.
No, stop. You're gonna have to walk around the edge and get it. What? There's fucking cacti on the edges. No way in hell. Too bad. That's one of my last fucking lures. What? Come on.
Carl's shoulders slump as he looks out across the pond. I sigh and set down my pole and start slipping my shirt off, followed by pants. After a pause, I decide to take off my boxers too. It's not like Jenna's here. It takes them a while to stop arguing about the plural form of cactus and realize that I am now nude.
Jace?
I'll get the damn lure. Stop arguing.
Just wanted an excuse to give a little striptease, huh?
I start helicoptering.
Working for the Weekend begins playing out of nowhere.
Yeah. Shut up. We've all seen each other naked. I do try to angle my hips away so they can't see my balls and cock, which is hard to do considering I've got a pretty steep bank to wobble over. I manage it though, and pretty soon I'm sludging through thick mud.
Careful. I don't know what the fuck's in there.
Didn't you say no one comes here? I don't get his response because I dive in right after that, the familiar feeling of water closing up around me, cutting off air and sound. Again, it's a huge relief to be back in the water, and I drift towards the bottom. It's not deep at all, and the water here has an almost slimy feel that I don't like. Still, it's better than nothing, and I undulate slowly across the pond. Doesn't take long to reach the log, as it's only about 30 feet away. I have to bob a few times to the surface to look around, though, since the water's too murky to see through. I'm actually kind of starting to regret doing this. I try to remember if I have any cuts or sores I'm going to have to douse in peroxide later. That's when my paw bumps the log, and I bob back to the surface, wiping a paw across my eyes. I see the line glinting above me, some drops of pond water clinging to it. I reach up and grasp it between my index and thumb and follow it to the branch. I see Carl give a few tugs.
Hey, Chase! Flynn says that there's leeches in the pond!
I hear a loud smack followed by a yelp.
Don't fucking yank it around! You gonna snag his eyeball?
I ignore them as I search for the lure. I continue to follow the line until I lean over the log and spot the spinner, shimmering in the sunlight, the hook wedged into the soft, wet wood. It comes out easily, and I carefully lift it, making sure I'm out of the way of the hook in case Carl decides to yank the line again. When I turn around, I'm glad to see Flynn's got the pole now. I hold up the lure to show him, and I let it drop back into the water. Flynn slowly starting to reel it back in. I go back in, slowly swimming back to the opposite bank.
I feel
At
something
that
sharp
point,
touching my balls.
at that point, I see a silver flash right into the. At that point, I see a silver flash to the right of my field of vision. I look over and see a fish swimming lazily over some plant life at the bottom of the pond. I pause and I would have smiled if my mouth wasn't going to fill with pond water. It would be funny after all this time if with the lures and the ponds for me to just pop out of the water with a fish in my paw. I swim over to it slowly, lingering to the side so I won't block the sunlight before diving down and snatching it up. I latch my claws. I latch it in I latch in my claws to keep it from escaping as I give a little wiggle of delight. It's been a long time since I've done this, but it looks like I've still got it. I turn around and start swimming back to Flynn and Carl, and that's when I suddenly feel like I'm being watched. It's not the typical feeling, though. It's much more intense. I pause and look back over my shoulder, then forward again. It's pointless because everything's cloudy and I can't see more than 10 feet. I've sunk down to the bottom of the pond, both of my feet resting in deep muck as I crouch, trying to figure out where this feeling is coming from. It doesn't help that my head is starting to buzz, a tone building in my head that sounds like an orchestra tuning. I haven't been down that long. I shouldn't be running out of air. Of course, I should just swim to the surface, where it's bright and safe, but I don't, because this feels too familiar. I think back to when I was 12, playing in the abandoned school with Carl. I was hiding from him on the second floor in a second floor classroom when I felt this exact feeling. Intense, almost physical, like a hand was grabbing onto the back of my neck. I look around again, and then finally look down at the fish in my paws. And now I know where it's coming from. Before I know it, I'm whipping upwards, breaking through the surface, in less than a second, swimming towards my friends. I stumble onto the bank, splashing water everywhere as I do. I'm not holding the fish anymore.
What the fuck were you doing?
I try to steady my breathing, hoping that they'll just think it's because I was down so long, rather than me being freaked the fuck out. Carl's lapping next to Flynn as I start pressing my paws down my body, trying to speed up the drying process. What? Carl shrugs, but Flynn smacks him upside the head again.
He pissed in the water while you were under.
Great. Honestly, I don't really care right now.
I wouldn't worry about it. You didn't come up near it. And there's probably worse in there anyway. Speaking of which, why didn't you go further up the stream and wash up? I don't want you bringing pond shit into my truck.
Okay. I sigh and pick up my clothes, just glad that they seemingly haven't noticed anything's off. Luckily for me, Flynn's parked right next to the stream, so it's pretty easy to find. It's freezing cold, though, compared to the pond, so I get washed up quickly. I gasp as I splash the water over my body, shivering before I stand back and start squeezing the water out of my fur again.
Everything okay?
I jump and look back. Flynn's leaning against his truck, arms folded, watching me. I blush. It was easier to be naked in front of two of them, but for some reason it just being Flynn makes it way more embarrassing. I turn back around, pressing my tail harder against my ass as I wave my arms up and down, trying to dry off. Yeah, come for a show?
Heh, always. Oh, yeah, always wanted to see the naked otter mimicking a bird.
Shut up. I'm trying to dry off. Flynn doesn't say anything, so I just turn around, not even bothering to cover up. Paws on my hips. Okay, seriously. You just come to see me naked? He hasn't moved at all, but he cracks a smile.
Maybe.
I don't let that trip me up again. I don't let that trip me up and, instead, thrust my hips out, legs spread. Well, there you go.
Helicopter, helicopter. I got a towel in my truck.
You like that? Huh?
I'm still smiling, and his eyes definitely aren't on mine. Flynn has flirted with me before, even while I was dating Leo. I vaguely remember the two being. I vaguely remember there being some altercations between the two. I make my way towards the truck, again trying to angle my hips away from them. You really know how to creep a guy out. I lift up on the handle, but the door hasn't opened. Hey, unlock the, Something shoves me hard into the small. Something shoves hard into the small of my back, and I'm thrown forward to land with a wet splat against the hot metal of Flynn's truck. What the hell? Something tall, skinny, and muscular presses up against my back. Chills run down my spine as Flynn's muzzle snuffles into my ear, a low growling in his voice.
Really think you can just tease me like that and get away with it?
His paws slide around my body, between the car and my stomach before moving up to my chest. I'm frozen that way, paws against the passenger window as I stare in shock through it at the truck's steering wheel, though I'm not really seeing it. There's a pause, and I think it's because he's waiting for my response to see if I tell him to stop or not. I don't, though, and I lean my head back into his neck, feeling my entire body break out in goosebumps as he rubs at my chest.
You like that, don't you?
I respond with a gasp as his sharp teeth graze across one of my stubby ears, his hot breath sending another wave of chills over my skin. His hands slide back down, slowly, feeling out my body.
Acting like a little slut. You didn't think this was gonna happen?
I stiffen a little under the remark and lift my tail up again between his legs. You're one to fucking talk. I'm not completely sure about what's going on, if this is a spur-of-the-moment thing, or if he's just trying to prove a point. What I do know is that we both want it. Okay, so Chase is very much like a bottom, so we'll let him do his work. You ever seen a bottom try to top when they don't do it regularly? They're just very unsure about what they're supposed to do.
They're just awkward.
Yeah, it tends to be very awkward. But sometimes they can be fun. Those are called switches, not bottoms. Flynn's not too bad with his hands. Want to see what he does. Flynn pauses for a second as if he's having second thoughts, but after a while he goes on.
Damn, you're fucking hot.
He rubs my stomach, which I suck in and I have to keep from whimpering as one of his fingers teases at my belly button.
I like skinny guys. Is that just a natural part of being an otter? I can tell you don't work out.
Hey, I still have to keep in shape. I swim. I can't go on as he breathes into my ear again, making me gasp and lean my head back, biting my lip.
Sensitive ears, huh?
Finally, he gets to my lower stomach and he pauses, waiting again for my response. Again, I don't say anything, instead pushing my butt into his crotch and thighs. One of his pinky fingers prods gently at the top of my sheath. Suddenly he lets go from cupping my stomach to cup my balls, pushing the furry sack up against my body. I gasp loudly, eyes wide as I feel my sheath filling up as his thumbs prod at my nuts. There's something mind-blowingly bizarre about having one of my childhood friends groping me like this, and it's got me all kinds of confused. 3 years ago, just before I left, this would have been insane. No way in hell would I been okay with it. But now, something about the time we'd been apart has made it all of this okay, and incredibly hot. I think not having any sort of release over the past few days has had something to do with it. Flynn suddenly lets go, then grabs me by the shoulders and turns me around roughly. Once my back is pressed firmly against the truck, he grabs my wrists and pins them up over by my head. With my body fully exposed, he looks me over, a hungry look in his eyes. I stand there, feeling vulnerable under his gaze, especially when he gets to my junk. I get harder just with him looking over at it. His eyes flick back up to mine, and I look back at him, then give him a smirk. He looks at me. I look at him. Sorry,
I'm sorry. What did you want again?
All those memes.
Yeah. It takes just one line to catch on.
Flynn sneers back, and suddenly his head dives in. I have just a second to gasp before I feel his muzzle close around my neck, and I freeze, fur standing up all over my body. Flynn gently undulates his head, getting his teeth past the thick fur on my neck to prick at the skin underneath. I stare at the sky, mouth hanging open as I clutch at his chest, feeling the chuckle pass his pecs as he keeps me pinned. Then he presses his thick, strong tongue through my fur to tease at the flesh, pressing against the pulse of my neck. My knees go weak and I sag against the truck, letting out a loud, gasping whimper. It spurs the lizard on. He lets out another chuckle, doing it again, clearly wanting me to make more noises. How the hell did he know all my weak spots? For some reason, I start to wonder if he's talked to Leo about me, and that brings up all kinds of complications I don't want to think about right now. I shove it to the back of my mind. Besides, I know Flynn's weak spots too. Flynn brings down my right paw from its position against the window, which is fine, because it wants to start falling asleep. But then he presses it against his stomach. He's warm and soft, his leathery hide sliding smoothly along the muscles of his belly. It's clear he doesn't work out either, but I'm okay with that. I press against him and he gives a slight huff through his nostrils. Then he starts to slide my paw lower, past the waistband of his pants, under his boxers. I can't see what's going on, since he's got his mouth against my neck. That's when I feel something hot and smooth against my fingertips. I grin, feeling mischievous. I wrap my paw around Flynn's rock-solid member and give a brisk, smooth pump. He moans, practically melting over me now, his muzzle in the crook of my neck, and I think I feel him drooling down my back.
Shit. You must have been a handful for Wolfie boy. He's not the type to easily submit.
Flynn's right. Leo was a stubborn boyfriend, and Leo was a stubborn boyfriend in and out of the bedroom. With a lot of coaxing, I could eventually get him to see things my way, but that's hard. But that hardly ever happened. I guess a lot of energy. I had a lot of I had a lot more energy as a teenager, more zest, I guess. It's hard to explain, but over the years I've just become more, well, exactly what Flynn's accused me of being. Personally, I just chalk it up to growing up. But right now, I do sort of feel like my old self, and that's kind of incredible. Hey, I'm a versatile otter. I like to trade off. I grin as Flynn guides my paws into his briefs, returning a smirk. Let's push down his pants. We'll just take this even further and see where he calls it. Push down his pants. I'm about to pull my paws out of Flynn's grasp when he steps back. He lets go of my wrists, the expression on his face strange again. He's looking for something. I'm confused, still sort of slack-jawed as I stare back at him. What? Slowly his expression becomes more resolute, almost dark as he steps further back away from me, folding his arms.
Nothing. Just realized that Carl could see us. We shouldn't have done this here.
Huh? He's acting like I started this. I'm feeling self-conscious now that he's clearly not interested in continuing. I turn away slightly, one paw against the car as I angle my body so I can't see his dick anymore. I look back over my shoulder at him, feeling myself getting angrier. Hey, you're the one! He's already turned around and headed back towards the pond. I watch him go, feeling bewildered and maybe even a little hurt. Asshole. I mutter it under my breath. Did he stop because he decided I wasn't up to his standards? That idea hurts even more because I imagine those are pretty low. I stand there for a while longer, feeling like a complete idiot before finally heading back to the stream. I picked up all kinds of shit from smearing my body against his dirty truck. I'll be sure to not let him take advantage of me so easily again. We're headed down Elizabeth Street after dropping Carl off, the drive only a little awkward. Flynn's really good at acting like nothing's wrong when he wants to, and I'm totally fine with that right now. That's when I see a set of familiar ears through the window of the convenience store. Hey, is that TJ? Flynn ducks his head to look out my window.
Looks like it.
He flips a U-turn, which isn't a big deal since no one's on the road, and pulls up into the parking lot. What are you doing?
Stopping by to say hi.
Oh, okay. I guess I need to buy some stuff anyway. I look out the window so Flynn can't see the look on my face. I already know that this is a bad idea. TJ's at the register. His ears flick in our direction before he turns to see us. At first he smiles when he sees me, but then his ears fall flat when he sees Flynn coming in behind me. Jenna pokes her head out from behind TJ, and now I know that this is a really bad idea. They're both a little dirty, and TJ has his backpack on. I wave at them to let them know I have seen them before moving towards the back of the store. I need to get some bottled water since I don't really like drinking from the faucet in the motel. I hear Flynn say something as he walks up to them, and I silently hope that by the time I get back everything will be magically resolved. Because the old corner market closed, this is the only place where you can buy food, aside from the diner. Looking around at the selection, I can see why Flynn takes the 30-minute drive to Peyton to get his food. I grab a few water bottles and head back to the front. My hopes of a resolution are dashed as I see the awkward situation unfolding in front of me. TJ's standing on the other side of Jenna now, keeping her between him and Flynn. No one's saying anything as I get to the register, the air tense and TJ fidgeting with his facial fur. As I pull out my wallet, I look over at Jenna. Hey, how was your hike? Fine. Hot. Ah. The red fox doesn't recognize. A red fox I don't recognize takes the $2 I hand him. I feel Flynn shift around next to me. Then I hear him take in a breath.
Hey, Teach, did you...
Hey, Flynn. Did you forget what happened yesterday? I cringe. Jenna's tone is sharp, and now I just wish I could turn invisible.
Huh?
Can't you tell he doesn't want to talk to you? Flynn doesn't say anything. The tension is so thick in the air, I feel like I'm back in the slimy pond. The cashier fox pauses and handing me my change, staring at Flynn and Jenna. Thanks. I almost yell as thanks! I almost yell as I reach out for the money, as if the volume of my voice will make everyone forget and provide Flynn the opportunity to escape. It doesn't work. We're not kids anymore, Flynn. You can't just treat us like crap and expect us to act like it's okay when you decide we're worth talking to again. Flynn's hunched forward, staring off to the side, towards the back of the store. TJ suddenly heads for the door, and I can see his face twitching as he passes me. Jenna follows him past Flynn before turning around as she reaches the door. If you want to talk to us again, you're going to have to act like an adult and apologize. Otherwise, later. She exits, leaving us in the most awkward, painful silence I've ever heard in my life. The clerk openly stares at Flynn. I fumble with the change in my wallet, trying to pretend like nothing happened. Do you wanna... Flynn turns and walks out the door. I watch him get into his truck, then pull out, his face expressionless. For a while, I stare at the empty parking space as I slowly shove my wallet back into my pocket. The clerk, without anyone else to stare at, is now staring at me. Annoyed, I look right at him. What? He stares back at me, expression vacant. Oh?
Huh?
He's young, but the patchy fur and missing teeth. He's young, but the patchy fur and missing teeth and the look in his eyes tells me everything I need to know. I suddenly realize where I am and where I come from, and this alone squashes all the good feelings I have left of the day. This fox in front of me practically embodies all of the problems of this small town. I feel such a bizarre, intense wave of hatred for him that I have to leave the store. Pressing the 2 water bottles against my chest with one arm, I shove my free paw into my pocket, staring at the ground as I walk back to the hotel. I'm sick of him thinking they can do whatever he wants without any sort of consequences. Jenna wrestles around in the drawer before using her hip to close it with a snap as she turns to me. I'll apologize to him once he apologizes for ruining the trip. I open my mouth and close it again. Of course, asking Jenna to make up with Flynn is a lost cause. It's like asking Carl to take off his beanie. Yeah, we tried that before, it didn't work.
Yeah, we know exactly how that went.
Sitting on the bed, I glance at the bathroom door, the faint sounds of TJ's showering coming from within. I hear Jenna sigh before the bed wobbles as she takes the seat next to me. I'd probably feel bad for him if he hadn't fucked everything up already. I rub the back of my neck with a hand, trying to think of something I can say to convince her. It's just that Flynn is always like that. He doesn't mean anything bad. Yeah, well, I'm sick of having to deal with it. He needs to learn how to not talk like an asshole. This is one of the reasons why Flynn never fucks with Jenna, or really says anything to her at all. She's kind of exempt from the whole she's kind of exempt from the whole unspoken pact we made to just let Flynn's dickishness slide. Even sensitive TJ accepts it and takes the playful rubbing as well. Well enough. I hear the shower shut off, followed by the high-powered whoosh of the hotel's cheap dryer. Being a lynx, TJ probably had to stand in that thing for a good 10 minutes before he was even damp. We're adults now. If he wants to get anywhere in life, he needs to shape up. He's getting along all right, Jenna snorts. Yeah, if he's planned to stay here the rest of his life. I mean, what's wrong with that? I can tell Jenna's giving me a look, but I don't give her the satisfaction of turning my head to see it. Seriously? Anyway, it's clearly a defense mechanism. If he feels vulnerable, he feels vulnerable without his "I'm an asshole" blanket. I mean, you're not a psychiatrist yet, Jenna. I'm not going to be a psychiatrist, but you don't need a psych degree to see it. I don't respond, not seeing the point of arguing about Flynn any further. Jenna stretches, then gets up to go over to her laptop on the small table while I lay back on the bed, closing my eyes. Absent-mindedly, I pull out my phone, discovering a text from Leo.
I forgot to tell you that we're having a surprise party for Carl tomorrow.
I frown and type out a quick response. You're telling us now? It's not until next month. What's up? Jenna's looking up from her laptop at the expression on my face. Leo says we're having a surprise party for Carl tomorrow. Oh, yeah. You knew? Well, yeah. Leo told us on the drive back from the river. My phone buzzes again.
Sorry, but we're going to the store tomorrow to get some presents, so don't worry about it.
I frown. This is kind of weird. A whole month early? Jenna shruggles and looks back down at her laptop. Something to do, I guess. I guess. I tap out another response to Leo again. I have a lot to do tomorrow. I was planning to get some footage in the morning. Leo's always been weird. Do you follow any of his accounts? He's always posting pics of his food and stuff. Leo is a girl. He's
podcaster.
He's always taking pictures of his food.
What was it? A food drammer, Instagrammer?
Yeah. Whenever he takes pictures of himself, his mouth is always like wide open. He's got like a salad.
And the most awkward look you could ever find.
My phone buzzes. Go ahead.
Oh, I guess I can get the present for you, but you're definitely going to the party, and then we're gonna go out to see a movie.
I suppose that doesn't sound too bad as long as I'm able to get at least something done for the project. Something is still bothering me about the whole get-together, though. I can go to the party, but I might need to stay and do more project stuff. What about Flynn? I said that one with some hesitation, feeling like me and Leo are conspiring behind Flynn's back. Then I remember what I did behind Leo's back with Flynn, and my toes curl reflexively and cringe. Yeah, technically, it's none of Leo's business what I do, but it doesn't change the feeling of wrongness I have about it. I toy with the idea of texting Flynn as well, but knowing him, he probably wouldn't. Knowing him, he probably won't respond right now. I'm sorry to you, at least. I look up from my phone at Jenna, who's clacking busily away on her laptop. For what? Her typing pauses. Because pissing Flynn off like that is just going to make this even shittier vacation. I sigh and look back down at my phone, waiting for Leo's response. Well, I don't know. I guess he needed to hear it from someone. My phone buzzes again.
I had a talk with him. It's fine.
I'm about to say something else to Jenna, but I can hear TJ sliding open the door, so I just shut my mouth and close my eyes again.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Do
Good to-
we want to keep going, or do we want to end it for today? Because I know you do have work tomorrow.
We do have work tomorrow. We should probably end it.
All
This
right,
is
sounds good.
I'm going to save this and
All right,
save it in number
transitioning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
bye.